I'm very happy to see you, and I'm very glad to have an opportunity with you about the Bible. Today, I want to share with you about the ideas. The idea, what God has, and the ideas, what we have. We live in the Western society as a Korean identity, and actually, one of the differences between the Westerner and Easterner is that the Westerner think more individually than the Easterner, right? And many things, the most thing around us, actually, they are defining us. In other words, we are defined by someone or by something, and God actually told his identity in the relationship between his people. So I'm going to read the Bible to Exodus chapter 3, verses 13 through 15 first, and then we're going to keep talking about. Then Moses said to God, "If I came to the people of Israel and said to them, 'The God of your fathers has sent me to you,' and they ask me, 'What is your name?' and then, 'What is his name?' What shall I say to them?" God said to Moses, I am who I am. And he said, "Say this to Israel people, I am has sent me to you." God also said to Moses, "Say this to the people of Israel, 'The Lord, the God of your fathers, the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, and the God of Jacob. This is my name forever, and thus I am to be remembered through all generations." It is the ESV version. I am a biblical seminary student, and I am a 전도사, a pastor. This is one of my identity. And this identity actually shows the relationship between me and my theological background, or between me and the ministry background, right? Today's text, this is Exodus chapter 3. This is the conversation between God and Moses. This is very famous scripture, so I think we know the context, right? And Moses asked God, "God, show me your ID. What's your name? Just let me know about you." Moses asked God, and then God answered to Moses. This is very famous, right? And verse 13, Moses said, "God, suppose I go to the Israelites and say to them, 'God of your fathers has sent me to you,' and they ask me, 'What is his name? What is the name of God? And what shall I tell them?'" Let me think about that. Why did Moses thought that the Israelites were going to ask the name of God? Why Moses thought that? We can guess. It is because they were just wondering the name of God. Maybe they wanted to know more about God. We can guess, right? But actually, that's misunderstanding. I tell you the context. The ancient Near East people, so about more than 3,000 years ago, the Israelites thought that there are a lot of gods. There are many, many gods. You know Baal, right? Baal-shin, Baal. Baal was the god of farming because he controls the rain. And Asherah, the Asherah, Asherah was actually, this is a female god. She controls childbirth. So there was god of farming, the god of rain, and god of childbirth, and god of the sun, and god of the sea, god of the death, everything else. Even there were god of a frog, right? There were a lot of gods. And actually, they had a genealogy from the top to the end of the gods. So there are hundreds of gods. From the top is El, and a lot of gods had a genealogy. And the reason why the Israelite was going to ask the name of God was not because they were curious about his name, but they would wondered how powerful he is and what he controls. That's why Moses thought the Israelites were going to ask his name. And then God answered to Moses, and the answer is relational. And let's see the verse 14. Verse 14, God said to Moses, I am who I am. This is what you are to say to the Israelite. I am has sent me to you. I told you this is a relational answer. But did you find any relationship between God and something else? There's only I am who I am. There's no relationship with anything else. What does this answer mean? The reason why God told this answer to Moses is this. I am just I am. I am the God. I'm not the God who you are thinking about. I am not one of God. I am not one of many gods in your genealogy. I am the true God. I am the real God. I am the truth. I am not like other gods. This is what he's saying. And then, right after this, he shows the identity, the identification to the Moses. This is verse 15. I'm going to read the verse 15. Say to the Israelite, the Lord, the God of your fathers, the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, and the God of Jacob, had sent me to you. This is my name. This is my name forever, the name by which I am to be remembered from generation to generation. This is the first identity of God, the first relationship of God. And God told Moses, I am who I am, but I am the God of your fathers. You are whom I mostly care about. This is what it means. You and I have a very deep relationship over hundreds of years. So Abraham was before 500 years. Right? And he said that this is why my name is so long. My name is God of your fathers, the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, and the God of Jacob. This is my name. This is my identity. This is what you need to know. So God is saying that my identity can be found in only relationship between you and between me. This is God is saying. And we have to remember that God introduced himself only in the relationship between him and between his people with us. So this is God's first identity, which found in the relationship between us, right? And I believe the next is our turn. What can you say if God asks back the same question? If God asks us, show me your ID card, tell me who you are, what's your name? If God asks to us, how can we say that to God? In what relationship can you be defined honestly? Sometimes we need to say, I am just I am. I don't have any relationship with any other thing, but I am just I am. And sometimes we need to find some close relationship to define us. And, Moses had 3 IDs. The first 40 years, he lived as a prince of Egypt, right? The prince of Egypt was the first identity of Moses for 40 years. This relationship shows that the relationship between Moses and Egypt, right? And the second identity was a shepherd. That shows that the relationship between Moses and sheep. And finally, when he was 80 years, he got third ID. What is it? The servant of God, the leader of Israelite. He finally got that relationship after he had a relationship with God. And it is no doubt that the meaning of Moses' life, 120-year life, was his third 40 years as a leader of Israelite, as a servant of God. We have many relationships with many other things around us. But which one? What can you pick up when you define yourself? What relationship is closest to you? Very often, that tells who you are. I believe it was on March 2000 when I entered the university. I was on the way to a class, and a man came to me and gave me a piece of paper. It was a flyer for a Christian club. I don't remember the club, but he gave me that paper and asked me, "You go to this university, excuse me, but do you go to church?" So I said, "Oh, yes, I do. I go to church." And he asked me, "Oh, really? But do you have a job?" So I said, "I'm sorry, my job?" At that time, I was a freshman. I don't have a job. I'm a student." And he said to me, "Right, you are a student, but wrong. You are a student, but your job is not a student. Your job is Christian." I was shocking. And then I was shocked. And he let me look into my inside, look back my side, and in what relationship I was defining myself. I realized that God was not my first relationship at the time. So from that time, I think I started to think about my identity relationally. I just want to throw the same question to you. Do you have a job? Yes, you do. What is your job? And in what relationship can you be defined? And what relationship define your identity? I think this is a very important question. Identity is relational. I'm a father. This is the relationship between me and my son. I am a student. Actually, this is a relationship, right? In the Easter, I pray that you can find your true identity, your real identity, and your first identity in the relationship with Jesus Christ, so that you can find the meaning of your life, just like Moses did. And I pray that we live driven by this relationship. I believe that because of this relationship, Jesus hung on the cross and he resurrected. Thank you.